you're watching Food Whims and Whimsy, and I'm Carmen DePasquale, and today I'm going to show you how to make a pulled pork sandwich in the outdoor oven. So like all of you, during this pandemic, I like to entertain myself, and the way I do that is to do already normal things but in a different way. So today I'm going to do a pulled pork sandwich in the outdoor oven. And it is raining outside, so just for a little insurance, I'm gonna pop it in this Dutch oven and throw it in the outdoor oven, just in case I have to pull it out and throw it in my regular oven. So we'll see how that goes today. But we'll start with just a regular 8-pound pork shoulder and just some spices. So in here I have salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and I'm just gonna mix that all up. And that's basically it. And I'm gonna cook this in the outdoor oven, which I'm going to pop it in a few minutes for about 8 hours until that shoulder blade bone comes out nice and easy. So I'm going to go ahead and just put some herbs. The spices. I was going to put some oil, but I don't think it needs it because it is kind of moist here. So I'm just going to go ahead and pile it on. And you want to put a liberal amount, just like that. All sides. Now, I purchased this pork roast and it did have a fat cap on it, which I trimmed, but I did leave some of it on here. And I'm going to cook it with the fat down. Everyone has their own preference on doing that. Some people like to do fat side up and some people like to do fat side down. For this pork shoulder, I'm going to use it with fat side down, only because I want to get a nice brown pork on it. And I find that if you put the fat side up, you kind of lose that. So this is nice and liberal. Okay, this looks good. Now if you have time, you want to go ahead and refrigerate that for overnight. That would be great. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it just like this and throw it right in my oven. Now that that's all liberally on there, I'm going to throw it in my Dutch oven. Now this Dutch oven is what I use for my outdoor oven. It's not in great shape, but it works wonderful. It looks like it's not in great shape, but it really is. So when you work in the mud oven, it kind of does make it like dark. So don't worry about that. Just use it for your oven outside. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that in my outdoor oven. So the fire's been going for 2 hours, so we had a nice bed of coals on the floor and then we just pushed it to the back. There's still a flame in the back there, but it's going to continue to cook, and even when the fire does go out, we're going to let that cook on the residual heat of the oven for the next 6 to 8 hours. Now if you're interested in learning how to make the fire, comment on YouTube and I'll be happy to let you know. Also, it is raining outside, so we're going to just deal with the elements, and I'll let you know step by step on what happens with the pork roast. So while the pork is cooking, I'm going to make a quick coleslaw, and all it is cabbage. So I'm going to use 2 different cabbages. This is a Napa cabbage and the purple cabbage. I'm going to grate a little onion, some carrots, and just a quick dressing with the mayo, apple cider vinegar, salt, pepper. So I shredded all the vegetables for the coleslaw, which is the 2 cabbages, the grated onion, and carrot, and I have it sitting there. So now we'll move over to the dressing, and it's just a mayo and apple cider vinegar dressing. Okay, so I start with about a cup of mayo. You can make your own or just use the mayo of your choice. So that's about a cup. And then I add about a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Just like that. I give it a good mix. Just move that out of the way. You have to kind of do it swift so it doesn't go all over. Then I also add a little salt and pepper, some sugar and salt, and that's it. So here's some pepper. I do everything to taste. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of sugar, white sugar, because that needs the dressing. This coleslaw dressing does need it. And then I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so that's it. Give it a good mix. And I also want to give it a little taste to make sure that it's right. So I'm going to go ahead and prime it. I like to prime it, so I like to put in a little first, mix it up, and then add the rest of the dressing. Just like that. Okay. And if you have any left over, save some for after you've cool this down, because a lot of times when you refrigerate food, you do have to add a little extra sauce or salt or flavoring, because it does take a little more once it's cold. So that looks good. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. So now that the coleslaw is dressed, I'm gonna just wrap it in foil and pop it in the refrigerator until it's nice and cold. And the dressing, I'm gonna, like, this was the primer, and then I'll add the dressing again right before we eat. They're both going in the fridge though for a little while. Okay. So the pork is cooking, the coleslaw's in the refrigerator, and now I'm gonna show you the 2-ingredient barbecue sauce that I'm gonna make for you. And the 2 ingredients are ketchup and Worcestershire sauce. Okay, so that's it. It tastes unbelievable. You will not believe how it tastes until you try it. So we're gonna use about equal amounts. We're gonna mix it up, and that's pretty much it. This is your 2-ingredient barbecue sauce. You're not gonna need anything else, but if you do want to use another barbecue sauce, of course, go ahead and use your favorite. And this is it. It tastes tangy and it's sweet, and it's just perfect. I love this for any grilled meats, especially chicken and pork. That's it. You can start with 50-50. I think I might like a little more Worcestershire sauce than ketchup, but you know, just do it to your own taste buds. That's what cooking's about. So it's been about 6 hours. Let's pull this out. It's warm in there, but it's not hot. So I know it's been cooking. Let's take a look at it. Oh wow, it's really ready. Very tender. Okay, we're gonna pull this out. I think it's ready. Okay, this is super tender here. And let's see how this bone comes right out. And it does. And there should be like a shoulder blade bone somewhere around here that should be able to come out. But as you can see, it's super tender, and it's gonna be easy to shred apart. And it rained all day, but it cooked well in the oven. It's very moist looking. This is really great. So I'm gonna go ahead and shred this up, and I'm going to assemble our sandwiches. So the roast pork cooked in about 4.5 hours, a lot less time than I originally thought. But I think it's because the oven was super hot, and it was gone for about 2 hours before I actually put the roast pork in. The coals were really hot. So what I like to do first is I start with a toasted bun, and I like to add my pickles on the bottom. Then I like to pile up the roast pork, just like that. Get it on there really good. Then I like to spread the sauce that I made just on top like that, and I like to put a lot. End it with a little onion, just a little, just like that, and that's it. And I also like to serve the coleslaw, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Here you have of it, pulled pork, a homemade coleslaw, and a 2-ingredient barbecue sauce. We battled the weather, but we came in 2 hours early with the pulled pork in the outdoor oven. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. You're watching Food Whims and Whimsy, and I'm Carmen DePasquale. Thank you for watching.